Shalom, shalom. All right, shalom, shalom. Can I be heard? Oh, no. Shalom. Can I be heard? Yeah, hear me? Yeah, hear me? Yo, yo, yo. Y'all let me know if I can be heard. Shalom, shalom. Y'all ain't gonna tell me if y'all can hear me. Y'all hear me? All right. So, as I've been explaining to y'all, we already know everything is about trust. Perfect situation. You take your child to a daycare. They're offering you services. You accept those services and you grant them responsibility or authority over your child for a said period of time. Right? Now, in trust, the child is the beneficiary. In trust, you are the grantor. In trust, they are the trustee. Right? Now, every trustee has a compensation for their services to the beneficiary. That's why they're getting paid. Now, if you can understand that you are not your social, if you can understand that you are not that legal person, and you need to always separate yourself from that person, and you understand, you could understand how it's fairly simple to navigate in this world. Shalom, Julie. I pray I'm saying your name right. Yeah, you know. So, and thank you for sharing the live. If y'all ain't new to this, share the live, guys. Don't wait on me to say something. Do it because you know I'm gonna ask you anyway. But anyways, though, so if you know you are the individual who is supposed to be securing the obligations of the obligor, you understand, then all of this banking world stuff should go fairly simple. All right. Now, there are instances where you're gonna have to first learn how to navigate in their world. So instead of you being your own investor, you need a financial advisor or to deal with wealth management or something in regards to banks and banking, right? But at some point, you're gonna get to a level. You're gonna get to a level where all of that stuff that people are doing and talking about in regards to um, private banking, private banker EINs, sending in negotiable instruments, so on and so forth. In the truth of that world, once you actually learn how to navigate your securities, you will go from using an agent to actually being your own private banker. You know, but you have to first understand the navigations of the world that we're talking about. Okay. Now, this where am I reading this out of? This is I think that's actually what the book is called. But anyways, though, we're gonna read, right? It says banks and other institutions lending money require the utmost safety in providing. Hold on. It say banks and other bank and other institutions lending money require the utmost safety in providing their loans. Generally, more than original security is required, and the term applied to that security other than the original is collateral security, which is legally defined in. I guess that's defined in a case as that security for the payment of money besides the original security. All right, my point of reading is, y'all. All right, because you got to know how to use your own instruments when you go apply for a loan. Collateral is everything. All right. Now, if you don't have collateral, which is security interest, you can't use it to you can't use it to offset any of the obligations you're trying to establish. You dig what I'm saying? So this is why that UCC 1 is important. It establishes a security agreement. The terms and conditions of the contract you go into when you go into an establishment is a security agreement. If you deposit items at a bank, they don't necessarily even need to do a 1099 because you've deposited it with you've pledged it to them for safekeeping or for whatever purpose to secure such and such, or for them to secure and act as power of attorney. However this goes, but nonetheless, the point, perspective, and goal is that from now on, you want to control every bit of the conversation. And this is what I mean. I went to my new bank and I showed him my purchase order for a vehicle. And I asked him, can you securitize this for me? He said, I can't, but the bank can. But what would the bank get out of that? I said, well, I also have a trade agreement for you, so we can work something out. Well, all right, well, the guy's not here right now, but you can come in and talk to him. Perfect. So my intention, the purpose and point of my intention of using my purchase order as, excuse me, securitizing my purchase order is because I want to use it. I'm going to ask the bank to go get some money for me. And the bank is going to need something collateral. The bank is going to need something that's going to balance the scales. Okay? Shalom, brother. When I go get the credit, it's going to go up. You know, but the bank is going to need something of equal weight or value to help balance that back down. Boop, boop, right here. All right. Now, this is called pending. When an item is pending, that's all it's doing. It's just waiting on the scales to balance. And then, boom. If it evens out, if it overpays, if it underpays, simple. You know. Now, when it comes down to you, you should be coming in with your own negotiable instrument, wanting to use it to secure the obligations of the debtor. So you can offset that obligation. But you got to know how to contract. Contracting is not only speaking. When I say you have to know how to contract, that's not only writing something. That's also you have to know how to speak. If you know what you want, you should be able to articulate it properly. But what you want has to be in line with what is lawful. You understand what I'm saying? What you want can't just be, I want it, like you're a baby, like you're a child. It's not how it goes. Dig what I'm saying? I'm gonna I'm gonna read from right here, collateral security. All right, etymology of collateral security indicates that it is something running along with, and if y'all are paying attention to me, y'all gonna love my trust course. If y'all paying attention to me through these lives right here, it's telling your ass what to do. Now, what's crazy is I just talked to my homegirl the other day, and we gave it a firm understanding that it's real crazy how everybody always saying you gotta read, you gotta read, you gotta read. That's what she was saying. I even thought that at one point too. But it's crazy how you have to. Other than that, you're impairing yourself by asking so many questions. Help me, help me, help me, help me. You got to do this shit yourself. That's what I keep telling my partner, man. Get on the phone, call. I don't care if you get embarrassed. I don't care if you don't understand. I don't care if you don't know. You need to start interacting. The knows that, like I tell everybody in my classes, y'all, the only place no doesn't mean yes for real is with a woman. If that girl said no, no. But at the bank, man, the motherfuckers telling you yes when they say no, but you gotta hear it. I can't do that unless it's an official document. Okay, notarized. Boom. You gotta hear what they're telling you. When I held up my purchase order, he didn't say, "What is that?" He didn't say, "Well, that's just blah blah blah." He didn't say any of that. He understood exactly what it was and exactly what I asked him to do. Can you securitize this for me? It's a wrap, y'all. Like, and I mean, I ain't saying anybody out here doing nothing wrong. It's quote unquote many ways to skin a cat. It's many different hats to wear, depending on what hat you wear, depending on how you move. Like you got the brothers filing taxes, getting their checks, them 1099s working. You gotta know how to create the audit. You gotta know how to make the system move for you. Shit working. Take a little time, but it worked. I ain't trying to do that. I mean, I ain't saying I ain't trying to. I'm doing that too. But I want something that's gonna work for me right now. Being that I have everything set up, I should just be able, like, if I was to go in the dealership and put in a loan application, I got good credit. I don't have to have an account at that bank. All they did was send the application, good credit, and ran the risk and decided, yeah, we want to do business, which we'll put this on our books. Hoping that you understood how to come back with your collateral security, which is supposed to be attached as it were parallel to something running along with, I'm sorry, as it were parallel to something else of a similar character. Now, I want y'all to give me a second, and I'm finna go pull up a U.S. code, and we're gonna see what the feds say. Just, I know exactly how to do it. Hold on. We're gonna do this one first. We're gonna go to 42. You gotta know how to work this shit, man. And then watch this shit. I'm finna make this shit make sense to y'all. And if it don't confuse you, you're not paying attention. And I mean, it should confuse you if you're new to this. If you're new to this and it's not confusing you, you're not paying attention because it's certain shit that shit. And I read slow enough to the point where you should digest all of this. That's why I read slow. I want you to digest every word. You're supposed to know the definition of every fucking word. How are you using a language and you don't understand the very words that you're using? You know, like if you go into a crib neighborhood and you go in that motherfucker screaming crab, folks gonna get on your ass. You know? All right. So look here. Hold on. Let me send these photos. Watch this shit, man. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Just a second. All right. All right. All right. All right. Here we go. So this is USC Title 12, Section 411, right? Now, as I say, you gotta fucking read. Now watch this shit, y'all. Watch this shit. Shalom to everybody. Shalom, shalom. All right. Federal Reserve notes to be issued at the discretion of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System for the for the purpose of making advances to the Federal Reserve banks through the Federal Reserve agents as herein set forth and for no other purpose are authorized. Okay? Cool. The said bills shall be obligations of the United States and shall be receivable by any national or member banks and Federal Reserve banks and for all taxes, customs, and other public dues. They shall be redeemed in lawful money. That part should confuse you. A dollar bill, how can a dollar bill be redeemed in lawful money? What lawful money? On demand at the Treasury of the United States in the city of Washington, District of Columbia, or at any Federal Reserve bank. So if you have let me help y'all understand something. Inflation. Everybody's mad as fuck at inflation. If they put more money into the economy, inflation arises. Right? What you all don't understand is that those dollar bills are promissory notes of the Federal Reserve. Promissory notes. Okay. They are not anything else but a promissory note. You ignorantly call them dollar bills. Don't know why. Your choice. We've been conditioned. Of course, I was the same guy, right? However, when you grow up, when you thought like a child, you no longer do. When you grow up, when you acted like a child, you no longer do. The way you act proves that's what that is. See? All right. So I could take a dollar bill to a Federal Reserve Bank. Hmm. All right, now watch this and get some credit. Let's keep it going. I think this one next. I think this next. All right, any Federal Reserve Bank. Hold on, that's gonna be the last. All right, not that one. That's 342. Whatever. What the? Just chill. really don't know what the fuck going on right now. Screen bite. Here we go. All right. So that was USC 411. I mean, Title 12, 411, right? Now I scroll over to 412 of the same title. Any Federal Reserve Bank. Now, this is now listen to the word. Okay. Any Federal Reserve Bank may make application to the local Federal Reserve agent. The bank has to make application to its agent for such amount of the Federal Reserve notes herein before provided for as it may require. Such application shall be accompanied with a tender to the local Federal Reserve agent of collateral in the in the amount equal to the sum of the Federal Reserve notes thus applied for and issued pursuant to such application. So, if the Federal Reserve Bank, how can I get in the screen? If the Federal Reserve Bank wants to get some money, the bank is dead. It can't do nothing for itself. So it has to ask its living entity, its agent, to put in an application. Now, when the agent puts in the application got to come with some collateral. Now, who y'all think? I need y'all to answer this question for me. When the Federal Reserve asks for money, who is it asking for the money from? We go to the bank go to the Federal Reserve. Who the Federal Reserve go to? Said us? Nah. Right. Treasury. Such application shall be accompanied with a tender. Now let's see what type of collateral can be offered on behalf of them trying to get some fucking Federal Reserve notes. The collateral security thus offered shall be notes, drafts, bills of exchange, or acceptances acquired under 92, 42, 48, and all of those, right? Or bills of exchange endorsed by a member bank. All right, now that's all I wanted y'all to catch. Y'all can catch the other shit when I get out the way. Hold on. A special drawing rights certificate. All right, next slide. All right, so this is 42. Same title. I clicked one of the little hyperlinks. And the reason I did so is because we ain't got no account at the treasury. You feel me? I mean, we do all that shit. But we ain't got no authorization. Like we the little guy right now. All right. And I want y'all to go read Galatians 4:1. It say the heir, though he be king, is still a servant because he is a child and he's under governors and tutors. So yeah, you the motherfucker. You the one guy, damn it. But because of your inabilities right now, you're number two. You won't become number one until you can handle being number one. All right. Any Federal Reserve Bank may receive from its member bank. A member bank is the banks that have accounts with the Federal Reserve. Every bank damn near has an account with the Federal Reserve because they all issue out dollar bills. They deal in dollar bills. They accept, receive dollar bills. All right, or notes. I'm sorry. All right, or other depository institutions, and from the United States, deposits of current funds in lawful money, national banknotes, Federal Receive notes, or checks, or and drafts payable upon presentation, or other items, and also for collection, maturing notes and bills, or solely purposes for, of exchange or of collection. Now, the reason this is very important is because your bank can receive from you, your bank can act as fiscal agent between you and the Treasury. I'm sorry, between you and the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is the fiscal agent for the United States Treasury. So you're following the line. Your debtor man needs money. He puts in an application. You are the one who put it in, but you need to secure his application. So you came in with collateral to secure that. It sticks right with it. Okay. The bank, you're also going to need some form of a trade agreement or servicing agreement because the bank is doing this deal for you. So if you needed 100,000, it probably behoove you to put at least 140 on it. You're going to need extra, and on top of that, you have to pay them for doing this deal. So this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I don't know a damn thing about finance. Crazy work. How this is just entertainment, education, and information. I'm not a legal counsel. Neither have I ever been hired by the United States. Not an attorney. I ain't trying to tear you apart. None of those things. Okay. Your name is not you or yours, so I'm not talking to you or your person specifically. What you choose to engage with, all up to you. Back to the program. All right. So you need an agent. That's why you went and got a bank account. You ain't got no account at the Treasury set up. You don't know how to do the TDA joint. You don't know how to work your own investment, investor. You still think you the Social Security person, which is perfectly fine. Start it from the bottom. You'll get there. All right. So the bottom is you at the bottom is you at a bank. All right. And then it's gonna be you at a private bank. And then you at the brokerage. And then you private banking. You'll get there. Start from the fucking bottom. Okay. All right. So you give your application and your trade agreement to the bank. The bank presents your payment for you. The bank presents the payment for you, but the bank is the one asking for the loan. And the bank is going to ask for the loan and use your instrument as collateral. Now, you have a separate agreement with the bank that states when they get this money, it's for a specific purpose. So it's not theirs. They get them. They give you the 100,000, and then y'all bust down the 40. However, y'all agreed to bust down the 40. Feel me? Now you can also understand this, right? Collateral is the extra, y'all. The original certificate of indebtedness, the OID, the original issue discount is the original application. That's money too, gang. So if you put 140 on it, it's 280 altogether. Does that make sense? If we understand banking properly, all of us, every single one of us already got money or what we think is money. You just have to learn how to use it. Everything is promises. Everything is negotiable instruments, chattel paper. You can go and ask any bank. When I put in an application for a loan, does that application become a promissory note to the bank? Yes. Okay. Do you deposit that promissory note into an account? Yes. Does that promissory note become an asset or a liability to the bank? Well, it depends on your credit score. It depends on what side of the ledger. Just Learn how to talk. Learn how to do what you're doing. Yeah. All right. So your bank, lawful money, national bank notes, Federal Reserve notes, or checks and drafts payable upon presentation or other items. What type of what's the other item? Remember we read the definitions the other day, and it stated item. I had a deposit slip from my new bank, and it said checks and other items can be deposited at this bank. I understand now. The all right for collection. I mean, you sent the instrument. These are restrictive. That's a restrictive endorsement. For collection is a restrictive endorsement. For deposit only is a restrictive endorsement. Just signing your name is a blank endorsement. Not signing your name is a blank endorsement. All right. Now, the reason that they giving up this collateral is solely for the purposes of exchange or for collection, or excuse me, or of collection may receive from other Federal Reserve Bank deposits of current funds in lawful money. So in exchange, you got a piece of paper. What do you want in place of the piece of paper? You put in the application. What's your purpose in putting in that application? What you wanted out of that application? Hmm? What was your point in putting in that application? So you can receive the goods, right? But how you gonna pay for the goods? Credit. That's where we all at right now. Everybody want credit. That's what they asked you when you walked into the dealership. How do you want to pay? Cash or credit? Oh, I'm sorry, finance. Finance is credit. That's air. Faith. Can you give me a good enough promise? The car is worth is worth 40,000. Well, I know I'm gonna need a little extra dough on it. You can up the contract to about 60. I give y'all 8. I give you a rack personally and bust me down the rest. That's called incentive. You make that shit look too goddamn good for real. So this all I gotta do is da da da. Yeah, take it to your bank, ask them to securitize it, and all should be well. Yeah. But you gotta have all that established. You gotta have that contract. You gotta know how to talk. You gotta understand how you can't just walk in like they gonna have that ready for you. That's your issue. Just because you figured out this information, you think they're just gonna have everything set up and ready for you. So you red carpet type shit. No, no. You have to control it. What's stopping you from going in with your own contracts? What's stopping you from coming in with your own promissory note? What's stopping you from coming in with your own collateral? What's up with you? What's up with you not acknowledging what your collateral is? I mean, you put your social security number on that instrument, you put your name on that instrument. Those both are two valuable things. That's the estate and the trust. Anything you put the social security number on, you're pledging whatever that is to the social security account. That's a deposit right there. You understand? Or however, whatever. No. So in lawful money, let's see where it was. Verifies the lawful money. National bank notes or checks upon other Federal Reserve banks and checks and drafts payable upon presentation within this district or other items and maturing notes and bills payable within its district or solely for the purposes of exchange or collection may receive from any non-member bank or trust company or other depository institution of current funds and lawful money, national bank notes, Federal Reserve notes, things of variety, yada yada yada, or other items. So you can go through your bank. This is why people are paying things to the order of the United States Treasury. This is why people are. And I'm gonna show you. Hold on, let me find out. All right. Registered securities may be assigned in blank to bearer to a specified transferee. This is somebody doing it for you, or to the Secretary of the Treasury for redemption or for exchange for other securities offered at maturity. At maturity mean that bitch is due, on site, on demand. Maturity is it's if a bill is mature, has if a bond has matured, it's over with. It's old. All right. Upon call or pursuant to an advance refunding or pre-funding offer. Assignments to the Secretary of the Treasury of the Secretary for transfer, or the Secretary of the Treasury for exchange will not be accepted unless supplemented by specific instructions by or in behalf of the owner. I'm gonna help you out. Keep it going. This is according to the United States government. All right. I have the stamp myself. This is my instrument, and I know they're going to the Treasury. I know they're going to the Federal Reserve. So I'm controlling the situation. On my instrument, my stamp is this size. For presentation, I'm telling them where to go to the United States Treasury for redemption. You can redeem this bitch in lawful money. If I'm giving somebody a piece of paper, what's the lawful money I want in return, y'all? Huh? What do I want in return? Anyway, or in exchange for securities of a new issue in accordance with written instructions submitted and by. This is that agent person again. You. You're the owner of these securities. The minor is giving you full control. That's why y'all need to get in the trust class. The minor is giving you control so you can operate on his behalf. This is not with written submit with instructions written instructions submitted for, it says by. So somebody else did this. All right. And we keep it going. You gotta understand how to control your instrument. Accord of satisfaction refers to the agreement, which is the accord, between two contracting parties to accept alternate performance to discharge a pre existing duty between them and the subsequent performance satisfaction of that agreement. The new performance is called the accord. The excusal of the initial performance obligation is called the satisfaction. An accord and satisfaction differs from a modification in that a modification immediately discharges a pre-existing duty, whereas an accord and satisfaction does not discharge a pre-existing duty until agreed upon. Alternate. Can't see Bishop. Whatever. Something I can't. You'll see it on YouTube. But when you also go in with your own contract to the dealership, it should have in there an accord and satisfaction clause, constituting that, hey, me giving you this collateral is in full accord and satisfaction of the principal obligation over here. Debtor man owes you this. I came in for debtor man with an instrument that you could take to the United States Treasury or Federal Reserve and redeem it or get it in exchange for new security. So if y'all gave me a security, which is the credit I got, the check I got, the cash I got, y'all can go use my security and redeem yourself. If they feel like they gave you something, okay, I gave you something, so you can go get something back. Because anything you asking for from the Federal Reserve, you have to give them collateral. Anything the Federal Reserve Bank is asking for, they have to provide collateral. And any collateral, and the collateral is a fucking Federal Reserve note or notes. You can give up dollar bills to get some more dollar bills. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense other than the fact that, hold on, promissory notes can create greater promises. You are only as good as your fucking promise. That's what your credit is. Your credit is your ability to it's the trustworthiness of your promise. They don't know you. That's why they putting in the application so they can see what your credit report look like. Do you know how to offset obligations? Do you know how to help the bank help you, or do you just want the bank to help you and then you run out on it? Your credit score is a risk score. It tells them where they want to put you, if they want to deal with you or not. Clean up the credit report, the credit score go up. If the credit score is good, you can walk in anybody's door and they'll trust you. They see you know how to do good banking, good business. Apparently, you pay your dues. The account is always secured. You don't understand that account that you paying back is just the interest. You left your whole contract and the collateral out there in the wind. You stressing about $300-400 bills or whatever the case is, and you got contracts that's worth the entire value that all you got to simply do is claim. Not even just claim, accept. You already accepted it when you signed it. Now you need to perform. If the Federal Reserve Bank needs money, it's got to apply through its agent, and its agent has to go and get what the bank needs done. Your Social Security person needs a car. So it applies for a car through it told you to go get it. So you got to go do what it takes to get that car for your social security person. Why I say y'all got to stop looking at it as if it's you. It's not. Got to look at this like you in a deal. You're in trust. You've been entrusted with that private security number. You understand? How long I've been on it? Y'all ain't giving me no attention today, so I'm gonna be leaving in about 15 minutes. But I'm serious, man. You understand? You gotta learn how to control your deal. You walking in there just like a minor. No, you ain't got nothing in your hand. You don't know how nothing finna go down. You asking too many. You ain't even asking the right questions, and you letting them do everything. You don't understand what chattel paper is. They do. You think the guy at the desk that you're dealing with, he don't like you don't. We talking about the institution. The institution know what it's doing, and that's why they hired minions to at least get you in the door and on a contract. Once they got you, your person on the contract, somebody gotta perform. Whether that person performs or not, they have recourse. They have a right to redress. We put an asset on our books that he promised to pay us back. And he never did. He never returned his securities. That's what pay us back means. He never returned his security. Everybody got a copy of their contract. Everybody, if it turned into a promissory note to them, why didn't it turn into one to you? If because you signed it, made it a promissory note, did it still just become a contract on your end? Any one of y'all can go ask a bank. If I go get a loan from y'all and I default on that loan, what y'all gonna sell to the debt collector? The contract. So the contract was money this whole time. Jinky. At what point did I sell it to y'all? Because I mean, y'all offered it to me. You didn't sell it to me. You offered it to me. You said that I can come put in an application, and on that offer, you had terms and conditions for how you were going to secure your risks for committing to this offer. Can't hold me liable to anything I ain't signed yet, so it don't belong to me. Once I sign it, it belongs to me. If a debt is created and it belongs to me, then the credit that it creates is belongs to me as well. Because one didn't show up without the other. And if you ask the right questions, it'll hit for you, man. You need to be right in their legal department or speaking to their managers or the controller of operations at the dealership or the bank. Front counter people, front desk people, front office people don't know nothing about back office things at all. You know, how they go. I just wanted to give y'all this information. Though. If y'all understand the words that we use, words that they use. A lot of this stuff is in your contract. A lot of this stuff is right here in your face. Class is in on the 15th. Yeah, you gotta understand the legalese. You gotta understand the language of law. got any questions before I slide? Shalom, BJ. Shalom. How you doing? I'm gonna put this on YouTube so y'all can check it out. But I'm doing my best to try to make this make sense to y'all. So I get legalese is a foreign language. Absolutely. Girl world is a foreign language to me. Legalese, it ain't foreign no more. Just operating in the world that you're in. You know, when I held that instrument, it was a purchase order. When I held that purchase order up and I asked him to securitize it, and he said we can, my world shifted. My world shifted. You know, so I'm ready for their wealth manager to sit down with me. That's a big move right there. That's what you want. And then I guided the conversation so elegantly. You know, he says, so what the bank gonna get out of it? I said, well, I got a trade agreement we can work out. You know, we could do it 80-20. I really advise what you're doing 25%. I give you that extra five because you helping me out. But you got to believe in me. If you keep telling me I can't do this or you want to wait and see till I get it done, I ain't giving you nothing. I'm gonna go get it done and I'm gonna show you that it's done, not and not show you how. But if you help me get to the right people, I got 5% for you. You gotta know how to work your credit. I mean, it's just air any goddamn way. Motherfuckers is greedy for pieces of paper. It's a machine. Big. I sent to retitle my accounts. I tell y'all this. I sent to retitle my account, and I also sent a promissory note for 250 um, for each one of my accounts. I have a Form 56 with the IRS established already, so I sent them my copy, which states that if me specifically haven't appointed you, you can't fuck with it. So I'm sending them the Form 56F as well. I sent them a 1099 so they can make that report over the account. So, because it's a bailment, I'm bailing them out. I'm saying they're quote unquote liable to me to that 250. I put it in as I made sure on my promissory note that I stated that this was pledged as collateral security for the increase in credit on the account. You got to think a certificate of I need to call my partner now. A certificate of deposit. Um, in order to get a CD, you have to put in your own thing or item in order to secure that account. So it's basically like a secured loan or secured credit card. You have to put your stuff in it instead of them quote unquote putting something in it, you putting in it, right? So when I understand that I'm the investor on behalf of the social, my promissory notes can be pledged as collateral security for a certificate of deposit. So I'm gonna send in another two more of them for credits for a jumbo CD. Now, the interest rate for the jumbo CD, let's just say it's at like a 4.5. 100,000 times 0.045 is $4,500 a month. That's the interest. I can't pull the 100,000 out until the maturity date, the end of the term of the loan. I mean, of the certificate of deposit agreement, which I'm gonna do for 12 months. So 4,500 is $9,000 in interest that I get to collect off of the instrument. But instead of collecting the interest off of the second one, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna collect the interest off of the first 100,000, $4,500 a month times 12 times 10 is what 45,000 times. It's almost like 50 racks, something like that. 48, I think. No, I don't remember, but it do what it do. You understand? So basically, what I'm doing is I'm giving them $100,000 collateral to go play with. Y'all do what y'all want to with this $100,000. Feel me? It's just that at the end of that 100,000, I mean, excuse me, at the end of that term, I gotta give y'all the receipt back, and they give me my 100,000 back. I get penalized if I pull my 100,000 out earlier than I contracted. See, that's the point of you giving them the money so they can go play with it. Now they trusted investors or advisors, so your interest is gonna hit as they're promising you at a 4.5. Now the second 100,000, if the interest is let's do the math real quick. Hold on, 4,500 times 12, like what 54, I believe. Yeah, 54 right. All right, so now I have a full account value of 100,000. That's what I put in, plus what the interest is going to accumulate over the course of the maturity if I don't touch the interest. So that's going to be plus 54,000. All right. Of course, we already know it's 154,000. So what I would do is on the second 100,000, as I was asked, on the second 100,000, as I would ask the bank, yo, and I just asked the banker all of this shit. My partner got this conversation recorded. I say, okay, so if I get that CD, can I go right back to the same bank and say, hey, can I get a loan, a secured loan off of the account value of the CD? I put $100,000 in. If I leave it in that motherfucker, it's gonna make 154. Excuse me. Altogether, I'm gonna get back 154,000, right? And then when I get that 154,000, I'm sorry. Instead of pulling out the interest, I'm gonna leave everything in there, let it build up. The reason they gonna give me the secured loan is because the bank already knows where the collateral is. If you do default on not paying back this loan, it's a secured loan. All right. So you say, well, let me get. This shit is amazing. Let me get a loan, a secured loan for about 70 to 80% of the full account value. So out of that 154, you're gonna get 90. Between 90 and 110. You started out with a piece of paper and you ended up with the decades. And I'm finna show y'all. I promise you. I'm finna show you. So then your trust, right? Your trust takes the certificate of deposit certificate receipt. Your trust takes the secured loan receipt. Your trust takes the other certificate of deposit receipt, and then it goes to its bank, and it says, "Hey, can you securitize this for me?" That means pull all of this together. So 154 plus 154 plus how much I got? 90 on the loan. Let's add all of that up together. You understand what that is? Like 308, 154 plus 154, 308, something like that. Yeah, 308. Yeah, 308. All right. So hold on. 154 plus the 90, right? 398,000 in total in instruments. So you say to them, look, gang, I ain't gonna hold you. I sell these to y'all shit. 285. I sell them to you for 305 actually. I sell them to you for 320 and let you keep 60. That's a good deal. I sell them to you for 320. I get that the trust, get that 320 bite from the bank for that sale. Done deal. Everybody good. Now, what would be the fucking responsible thing of the trustee? What would he go do? What would be the responsible thing of the trustee once the trust receives from its consolidation 320 rep? What would it do, y'all? Hold on, I'm gonna get up out of here anyway. I got you. The trustee would then go and pay the obligations of the obligor. That 90 racks got to get paid back so you can secure your 154 over here. That's all you really got to pay back. Now you can leave both 100,000s alone, and you got the cash over here. Good Lord, all praise, all praise, shalom, shalom, all praise, and that's how you work money. That's how you work money. I understand this shit perfectly. But thanks be to the Father. I understand perfectly. Started out with collateral security and pledged it to a CD, the two CDs, 100,000, 100,000. Used the interest from the first 100,000 to survive. Used the interest, use the full account value from the second 100,000 to go accumulate the payment back from the secured loan that you're gonna get from the second 100,000. The trust gets that certificate of deposit, that certificate of deposit, and that certificate of deposit. I fucked up because you got to give up you got to give the certificates back in order to get your 100,000 back, right? So actually, you just came up 320 racks. Yeah. So you can actually forget about the 100,000 CDs because you can't get the CD back unless you give them the certificate. You got to give them proof that you put this in there. You got to give them you got to give them the thing that they gave you back. Right. So you actually just came up. You started out with two just promissory notes, just $100,000 notes, and you actually came out with the cash. Now go do what you were supposed to do with the cash. You wanted to buy a home. You wanted to whoop whoop whoop. You know what I'm saying? And that's just 100,000. You got to think some homes are worth 800,000. Some homes are worth 1.5 million. Dig? Understand how to play that math. We just moving securities around. We just moving paper, pushing P at every time, every instant. How long I been on here? I went 3 minutes. I'm finna go, y'all. Y'all understand what I just told y'all? That's all the bank is doing. That's exactly what the bank is doing. They securitizing all of their mortgage notes, all of their car loan, auto loans, all of their personal loans, and they go sell them hoes. They know that's why you can't never get the original note back when you ask them to supply you with the original note. They sold it. When you default on the debt, they sell it. They already prepared to sell it. They finna go get their money. They finna go do their job for their side of the part. What you just can I let it ride though. But I'm finna slide, gang. I gotta go eat. I'm hungry. Damn, it's really 2:15. Hell no. But I'm serious, man. You gotta know what you're doing. 11:53. All right, gang. But yeah, so I'm gonna holler at y'all. Y'all ain't fucking with me. Shalom, shalom.